Hi, Susan. Hi, Mona. How are you, ladies? Happy Thursday. Just last Thursday, I was in Cabo. So crazy. Here I am. Anybody have anything they would like to discuss or report? Let me know, please. Hi, Stevie. Good morning. So nice to have you all out there. Here we are. I have some good things to practice today. So let me know if there's any thoughts on your mind. I'd love to know how you're feeling. I'd love to know, where's my little poll? Here it is. Let me see. All right, a little poll went out to you. Just having fun with this. Why not? Let's be interactive and have fun. All right, there's my little question. And this will really depend on how long you've been practicing. And so it's a really interesting question because assessing improvement is very interesting. On one hand, we can do it by writing down and revisiting it. But I would say that what I notice, especially in all my private work that I do with clients, I do a lot of root cause diagnostics with clients. I run functional labs and really get to where the issues are for bone loss, especially when it comes to contributing to inflammation through food, through issues with gut health. And what I notice is that after months, sometimes somebody might not realize all the improvement, and I'll look back or have them redo an assessment form, and it's just amazing what level of improvement. And then for myself, when it comes to the question I just asked you today about strength, and it really does matter that you become aware of this, because we're not just showing up here and twiddling our thumbs. We're actually putting our body in some really strong positions, creating a lot of stimulation to the muscles and the bones. And it's wonderful if you actually notice the improvement that happens when you do this, because then it really gets you to show up and to give your all, or to do your real best during each posture that is specifically stimulation in one area. So let me see how many respondees there have been so far. 3 votes. And all of you say yes. Well, that's great. And I guess that's why you're here, right? If one of those is Stevie, I would say, heck yeah. The answer is yes. So my question was, do you feel like you're getting strong? Because a lot of what happens to us as we age, or if we get a diagnosis of osteoporosis, is really what happens up here. This is where we feel weak. This is where we feel strong. The bones, the minute before you walk into the doctor's office, they're the same as they were the moment before you walked in and got a diagnosis, and you didn't even think about your bones then. And then when we get the diagnosis, that's when the feeling part comes. So that was my question. 4 of you. Wow, great. Well, that makes me really happy. All right. So here's what I'd like to say about today. Unless you have something else that you'd like to say, I would like to ask or just tell you that I have an intention for today's practice. For today's practice, we're going to focus on, oh, hi, Anne. Yes, the sun is shining. Mindset is really important, Susan. That's like everything. How we feel about our body, about our strength, is what is going to make us either work on it or pull back from doing activity. And if we pull back from doing activity, or if we pull back from the moment when we're in a posture, then we're not gaining the deep benefit or the maximum benefit. And I was reading today on the the Bone Health Organization, that 137 million women have osteoporosis and 21 million men have osteoporosis. and that they're expecting it to double in the next 40 years, double. And that's not good. So let's try to get as many of us out of the category of osteoporosis into osteopenia, or even be as strong as we can be and feel that we're strong, because that's really important. All right, so I am going to go back there, unless anybody had anything else to ask. I'm gonna come back. All right. Let me get my little space all nice. Today's practice is going to focus on the spine. Now, if you get a DEXA scan, there's a couple of areas that the DEXA scan looks at. One of them is the hip, and it can give you a couple of readings about the hip. One of them may be the wrist, especially if you've had a previous fracture or a previous wrist fracture. They'll do a distal radial imaging of the wrist. And the other place is the spine. And it is the only part of the body, or the only part of the spine that is detectable with the DEXA scan is this little area here, actually. It's lumbar 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's the only part of the body that we could see with the DEXA. We can't see what's happening in the thoracic spine or the last lumbar spine. And in actuality, 2 out of those 4 is where most of the fractures are, is 2 out of the 4. And then the other fracture site that's pretty common is the thoracic, the lower thoracic. So this part of the body. So for today's practice, we'll focus on strengthening the muscles that support the spine, and we'll also press the spine bones into themselves so that they create stimulation to build more bone tissue. And that happens when we're in a back bend, when we bend our spine this way. It happens like that. And then the best way, or the way where we could create the most stimulating forces, is in rotational forces. So today's postures will focus on creating as much stimulation in the back of the body as possible and help to develop a strong spine. So let's begin. For today's practice, you'll need a block and a strap and a blanket. And I'd like to begin with a moving meditation and a moving supported relaxation posture. We're going to come down onto our back. We're going to use a prop to help to deeply open and stretch the spine, the little tiny muscles that hold your vertebra together, and also to free up the shoulder and where the arms attach to your body, because this can get really tight, a lot of tension here. So we're going to begin today's practice matching breath with movement in a moving meditation to open the spine, or to stretch the spine, stretch the shoulders, stretch the neck, and set our body up so that we could do some of the stronger postures that stimulate bone growth for the spine. So go ahead and take your blankets. Bring your blanket into the longest side possible. So look at your blanket and see which side is the longest. Get your blanket in the longest side possible. And then you're going to roll up your blanket into a circle. Now, the more movement you have in your body, you can go tighter with your fold. And then if you have a lot of roundness in your spine, or you know that you have a lot of tension in the upper back and neck, then maybe you roll your blanket a little softer, and it might be a bigger circle when you end up. And then for some of you, you may need an extra blanket to support your head, depending on your blanket you're using and the tightness in your body. So you want whatever blanket you have to be the length of tailbone or low back all the way up the spine to the head. So make sure whatever you roll up, you have that. This happens to be a pretty firm blanket for me, so it'll be a really deep opening. And then one more thing before we go down, shoulders. Those of you that have shoulder issues, if you have any rotator cuff tears or even frozen shoulder or anything that you're managing in your body, when you come down and you put something behind your spine and your arms out to your side, especially like this because it's elevated, I want to use the word pull. There's a deep stretch that comes into this part of your body. So I will say that for those that have shoulder issues, better to not have such a strong fold or a strong blanket, and or keep the arms pretty low. Be careful when we bring the arms up. So some of the movements that we're going to be doing, I'd like to show you some of the movements we're going to do when we're down on the ground so that you'll know how to do them and follow along with your eyes closed. One of them will be to raise the arm up towards the back. And of course, any range of motion that you have the ability to do is fine. So do what's available to you. So one will be this, raising the arms up. The other one will be the arms will be out to the side, and we'll bring the arms up and down. And even if you practice this now, you're going to feel some kind of stretching in the shoulder blade area, the shoulders, and then open and close. So those are some of the movements we'll do. We'll go really slow, movement with breath. That's when you're connecting the mind and the body. The breath is the connector, and that's when we're truly practicing yoga. So let's come down onto the ground, sitting your tushy on the ground. Bring your body to the side so that you can keep the spine nice and long, especially the front of the spine, not pushing it down onto itself, staying as long and tall as you can in your body, and then reaching your hand away to get really, really long in your body, and then bring yourself onto your back. Let me just do this so it's not distracting to me. Okay. All right. So once you get down, notice or set yourself up here. Make sure that the blanket's behind your head. Center of the head is supported. Your props are away from the side of you so you have the ability to move your arms. I prefer to keep my knees bent. It relaxes the pelvis, the hips, and it relaxes the low back. So notice here, especially if you have low back tension when you come into this, notice what's happening for your body. I like to pick my pelvis away from the ground, lengthen the lower spine, and then place the sacrum, the tailbone down onto the ground. Feeling a little bit of a stretch, it feels appropriate. Feet are wider than the body, knees go in towards each other. Let your hands be on your belly, arrive here. Start that connection to mind and body, that somatic awareness, and bring your awareness to your conscious brain, to your sensory brain, the place where you feel as opposed to think. Keep your mouth closed and begin to breathe in and out through your nose. Feel your belly rise and fall. Mouth is closed, breathing in through the nose. Take your arms, let your arms go out to the side. If you close your eyes, feel your way into your arms moving out to the side. Noticing where the stretch comes into your body. If it does, make sure it's appropriate. Your eyes are closed, your inner eyeballs are open, exploring where you feel that stretch. Bring your awareness to your heart. Press your heart up towards the sky. Breathe deeply down to your belly. Let's begin to bring a little movement into the body. The arms are open, inhale. And as you exhale, bring your arms up, cross them over each other, and hug yourself. Inhale, let the arms move up slowly and open. Exhale to hug yourself. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Exhale. Bring your arms to the side, bending your elbows, palms are up towards the sky. Let your arms hover away from the ground. Exhale, draw your elbows down towards your waist. Keep your palms facing up towards the sky. Inhale, let your arms come towards the back wall and towards touching each other if that's available in your body. Go slow so you can notice where the tightness is. We exhale, letting the elbows come down to the waist. Inhale, arms go overhead to touch. Exhale, elbows to waist. Inhale, overhead to touch. Exhale. Inhale. Go slow. Notice if you feel your joints moving. Maybe you hear some sounds in your body. Maybe you notice some stickiness. So when we have tightness in our body, we get things called adhesions. They're like cobwebs. And at first they're soft and you could break through them the way you could with cobwebs. And they're made up of minerals like calcium. And eventually, if you don't move the joints, if the body thinks that you're stuck in that position and it needs to protect you, that tissue calcifies, gets harder like nails, bones, and teeth, so that it becomes immobile. So keeping yourself mobile forever, you need to move your joints in a big range of motion. Inhaling, letting your arms go overhead. Feel the muscles that are stretching. Shoulder blades are partially on your prop, whatever you're resting your body on, and you're getting the arm bones to move, stretching all the muscles that are involved in shoulder mobilization. One more. And then exhale, bring your arms down. Bring your hands onto the ground like the pinky edges of your hands, like a karate chop. Pinky hands are on the ground, thumbs are up towards the sky, palms are facing inward towards your body. Take an exhale. Inhale, let the right arm raise up and go as far back as you can, maybe touching the floor with the thumb if that's available. Exhale to come back. Inhale to reach up. Exhale back. See if you can get a little farther after doing a few of them. On this last one, let the arm go and stay as high as it will. Reaching, 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 long with the fingers. Notice where you feel this. You may experience it all the way down in your lower core area. Stretching this side of your body. Take one more breath. On your exhale, bring your hand up, back to position. Inhale now, the left arm reaches up and back. Exhale down. Go slow. Notice whatever you notice along the way. One more. Let your hands stay up there. And on your next exhale, bring your hand back. Bend your elbows. Let your upper arm bones be in the ground. Let your elbows be relatively close to your body. Then bring your palms onto your lower rib area. See if you could let the middle fingers or the fingers touch. Hands are on the lower ribs, elbows are on the floor beside you. Take an exhale. Inhale, slowly open your arms to the side as far as they'll go. Maybe you can open your arms all the way towards the ground, maybe not. Exhale back towards your lower ribs. These are rotator cuff muscles. Inhale to open. This is the upper arm bone rolling in the shoulder joint. Exhale back to center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, open, stay there. Maybe your hands touch the floor, maybe not. Press your heart up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands back. Bring your awareness to your head. Take an inhale. Exhale, slowly let your head move in one direction. Go slow because it's going to move down with the blanket there. And you want to feel safe and you only want to go to the appropriate range of motion for your neck. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, let your head go in the other direction. Inhale back up. Exhale. Go slow here. This is going to rotate the cervical spine, Bring fluids and mobility to the cervical spine and help to stretch and release tension from the upper back and neck, which can result from poor posture or be protective for issues in your spine. So stretching and warming up all the parts of you that are supportive or move in unison with the spine or have an effect on the spine or are affected by your spine. Bring yourself back up to center. Pause here, take a couple of breaths to the lower ribs. Hands are on the lower ribs, feel the lower ribs expand. Breathe really deep here because this can also help to move your spine. As the ribs expand, this also has an effect on your spine. One more breath. If you'd like to come into a fully extended position here with the blanket behind your spine, arms go overhead, try to reach the hands back towards the wall. Maybe they touch, maybe not. Only do what's appropriate. Feel your way into what's appropriate. Take one more breath. And then bend your knees. So you're going to roll off the blanket onto the side, staying pretty close to the blanket. So let's come onto the right side first. Take your right hand behind your head, right arm on the ground, and just roll off the blanket so it's still pretty close to your spine. Let your knees go to the side, and then clasp your head with both arms. Take your knees to each other, and if you need to put a block between your knees, if this is uncomfortable or something, go ahead and do that. Take an exhale here, then inhale, lead with the elbow, slide the shoulder blade towards the spine, opening up the upper spine. Exhale to close. This is adding rotation to the upper part of the spine. Inhale, elbow goes up towards the sky, slide the shoulder blade towards the spine, open. Be in your body to make sure that the range of motion you're moving into is safe for your spine. Inhale, elbow up towards the sky, slide the shoulder blade back towards the spine. Press the heart forward, open. Last one. Inhale. Slide the shoulder blade towards the spine. Press the heart forward as you open into a range of motion where you feel a stretch. If you feel anything in your low back, press your belly button back towards your spine. Lengthen your left waist here. We're stretching the left side. Reach the left elbow diagonally away as much as possible. Long left waist here, stretching the left side of the body, pressing the heart forward. Deep breaths to the left waist, the left belly. Take one more breath. And on the exhale, bring yourself back to center. And then take your arm down. Palm is down.
Take a exhale and an inhale. On your next exhale, bring your hand forward, keep the palm down, reach long with your fingers, feel the stretch in the back of the shoulder, back of the arm. When you get all the way overhead, you're going to begin your inhale. Roll the palm up towards the sky, armpit up towards the sky. Reach the arm as long back to the behind you as you can. Keep the palm up, open up the hand. And then exhale, palm turns down, you come to the front of your body. Inhale, roll your palm up, open up your body. Exhale, palm down. Keep your fingers spread here. Feel your hands stretch, maybe the arm, the shoulder, the armpit. Close your eyes. Feel this in your body. Last one, keep your arm open out to the side. Take an inhale. Reach the arm straight up above you and then exhale, bring the arm forward, palm goes down, exhale. Inhale, turn the palm up. Exhale, turn the palm down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Bring yourself back to neutral. Feel your shoulder, feel what you did there. And then let's go to the other side. So the blanket is still behind you. You're going to roll onto the blanket, bend your knees, and then you're going to roll to the left side. So make sure you have space, nothing is in your way. Let your left hand go behind your head. Bring the left elbow onto the ground. Bring yourself onto your left side. I'll stay in this position so you can see this from the back. Take your hands behind your head. Elbows are pointing forward. Exhale. Inhale, lift the elbow up. Slide the shoulder blade onto the spine. Open your body. Press your heart forward. Feel the stretch in your body. Exhale to close. Inhale to open. Exhale, close. Try to feel as much stretch as possible. You inhale, lifting your arm up, slide the shoulder blade towards the spine. Open, open, open. Stretching the thoracic spine, the upper spine, the spine where the ribs are attached. The safe place to add rotational forces to the spine. Inhale, elbow up, shoulder blade towards the spine, heart pressing forward, and then open and stay here. Deep breaths down to your belly. Lengthen the right waist. Breathe to your right waist, your right low belly. Press your heart forward. One more breath. And then bring yourself back. Take your hand forward. And then bring your hand all the way up overhead. Exhale. Inhale, open your arm towards the back, palm goes up, fingers are spread. When you come down to your waist, exhale, turn the palm down. Reach forward, fingers are spread. Inhale, hand goes overhead, roll the shoulder joint open. And feel what feels appropriate to you here. Exhale, shoulder joint stays closed, palm is stretching. Inhale, open. Inhale, open. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Stay here. Let your arm be here. Press your heart forward. Spread your fingers. Feel the stretch. Maybe in the shoulder, maybe the armpit, maybe the hand, the arm. Stretch your body so that you don't get sticky and then stuck. Motion is lotion. Inhale. And then bring the arm overhead. Turn the palm down. Exhale, bring the hand in front of you. Inhale, open the hand. Going in the opposite direction. Inhale, the hand in front of you. Exhale, the hand in front of you. Inhale, the hand open. Exhale, hand in front of you, palm goes down. Inhale, open. 2 more movements like this. Close your eyes, feel the biggest range of motion that you could feel. Last one. And then bring yourself back to a neutral. From here, we're going to push ourselves up off the ground. So take your hand on the floor in front of your chest. Use the hand and the elbow to push yourself up and away from the floor. When we move the spine, it's important to be as safe as possible. And so the upper back shoulder girdle area, this whole part of our body holds so much tension. Tension from physical stress of daily activities and tension from stress, perceived or real stress. Because this is the part of the body, we clench our jaw unknowingly. We clench our jaw. There's a strong connection between the mouth and the pelvic floor, and stress can really show up in this upper part of our body. So that little sequence was to create mobility in the spine, the upper spine doing the rotation, and freedom in the arms and the shoulders. Okay.
So let's prepare for the next part of the practice. Take your blanket, bring your blanket into a folded position so you can break your knees onto the blanket. Let's start to warm up the spine here and warm up the pelvis so we can have a free pelvis, free lower back to do some of the spinal movements. So take your hands wide, spread your fingers, take your knees wide, move yourself back and forth. Feel that in the side of the hip joint as you push yourself side to side. Getting a lot of movement here in your body. You're going side to side. So feel that movement as your body goes side to side. Shoulder joints and hip joints. And then bring yourself forward and back. Keep your head active and your head lifted. Do not let your head hang. Keep the muscles of the upper back and neck active as you move yourself forward and back. Bring yourself back up to center. Let's go through spinal extension. Push the belly button down towards the ground. Push the heart down towards the ground. Open up your throat. Tailbone points towards the wall behind you. Try to get a bend in your upper spine here. So push your heart forward. Spread your fingers, press your fingers into the ground. Keep your head active here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, start to point your tailbone down the back wall. Start to flatten out the low back. Keep your head parallel to your spine. So don't let your head hang here. Inhale, let the tailbone move up the back wall. Come into that deep extension position. Ribs press down towards the ground. Throat opens. And then exhale. Tailbone points down. Low back starts to flatten out. Stop the flexion at the lower ribs. That's called flexion. Stretching the low back here. Inhale to bring yourself into extension. Stretching the front of the spine, the front body muscles so we can back bend. Exhale, stretch the low back. Bring yourself back to a neutral. Notice if your head and neck is feeling tension from holding your head up here, maybe. And then take your hands wide and long. And then bring yourself back. Let's stretch the spine. So you want to stretch your spine here from the crown of the head to the tailbone. If you're able to put your forehead on the ground, try that. And if not, then go ahead and grab a block or a rolled up blanket and put that near your forehead. Long spine, nose is pointing straight down towards the ground, not down towards your knees. No roundness in your upper spine, long spine here. Try to let the tailbone and the pelvis feel like it's moving away from you, stretching your body. Take one more breath. Take your hands, walk your hands over to the right. Walk your hands over to the right. Take your palms long. Take your head, rest your head on your left arm and push your hips to the left. Stretching the lateral chain, the side body. We need this for back bending to stretch our side body so that the spine will move nicely. Deep breaths to your left side here. Keep your head active. One more breath. Keep your head active as you move over to the left. Front spine is open, not pressing the front spine. The flexion and the forward bending is happening in the hips, not in the spine here. Hands are over to the left, spread your hands, and then rest your head on your right arm. Push your hips to the right. Feel that stretch on the right side body. Deep breaths all the way down to your right side.
One more breath. Bring yourself back to center. Bring yourself all the way up. Take your arms, shake your arms. Bring yourself into a kneeling position. So now that the body's nice and warm, let's do some postures specific to press the vertebra into itself and to create bone stimulation, bone building stimulation. The first one we'll do is camel. And this is done in a kneeling position. A couple of different hand positions here. You could take your hands down and clasp them, kind of like this is like a spinal extension and camel posture. So taking your hands down as long as they're away from your body. What you want to try to minimize is this curve in the low back. So if you take your pelvis and you point your tailbone down, you activate the core to bring your pelvis into this position and then soften your belly. You take your hands behind you. We're going to use that position. So the hands can be here. They could be here on the heel of the hand on the pelvis, or you could hold onto your elbows, pressing the hands into the top part of the pelvis. Or the full expression of the camel posture is to bring the hands onto the feet, lifting the heart here and keeping your head pretty active. So not letting your head fall back. So do whatever version is the appropriate version for you. I like to come with the clasped hands today. So keep your knees hip distance, not too wide. Reach your hands down away from your body. Activate your pelvis to come more into a neutral. Tailbone is pointing down. And then soften the belly so you can get an opening in your chest. Reach your hands down. Shoulder blades are towards each other. And then press the heart strongly up towards the sky. Bending the upper part of your spine. Lengthen your spine, tailbone down, deep breaths. Be active in the posture. Don't find it and then hang out. Constantly work in the posture, going as deep as you can safely. One more breath. And then slowly bring yourself out. That brings the back bend into the upper spine, pressing the back of the spine where the ribs are into itself, creating stimulation there. We'll come into two seated postures that will add rotational forces to the spine. One is a seated straight leg twist, and the other one is a seated bent leg twist. Let's go into the bent leg twist first. So take your blanket and fold your blanket, folding the blanket so that your right buttock sits on the blanket. So put your right buttock on the blanket and bend the right leg so that the right heel goes underneath the left buttock, and take the left leg across your body. It may take you a little while to feel comfortable in this. There's already tension before we even enter the rotation. And then the block is going to go onto the left side because we're going to rotate to the left side because the left leg is over in front. So we're going to rotate in that side. So try to get the left foot onto the ground. The right foot is underneath the left buttock. Blanket is underneath the right buttock. Take hold of your knee and get as tall as you can here. So lengthen your spine in this position. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Take your hand, your right hand onto your left leg. Take your left hand on the block behind you. Push down. So to safely rotate the spine, we need to have a nice long spine and extension in the spine, not flexion. So press your heart forward, lower your shoulders. Nice long neck. Take an exhale. Inhale, lower ribs, middle ribs, and upper ribs. Rotate to the left. Shoulders down, shoulder blades towards each other. Continue to add forces, rotational forces appropriate to your body while you're in the posture. Each exhalation is a relaxation, and in the inhale, lengthen. Find that length. Press your heart forward, lower your shoulders, lift your heart, open the front of your chest. Take one more breath. On the exhale, you release out of the twist. Bringing your leg out. We're going to come to the other side. So moving your body so that your left buttock is supported by the blanket. Left leg bends underneath. So the right buttock is on the left leg. Left buttock is supported by the blanket. Bring the right leg over and across. Take the block to the right side. Hands are in front. Get nice and tall here. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Bring your hand onto the block. Push down, holding onto the right leg with the left arm. So you use the left hand and the right hand to get length in your spine and to open the front of your spine. Take an exhale and then inhale. Lower ribs, middle ribs, and upper ribs rotate to the right. When you get here, long neck, lower the shoulders, slide shoulder blades towards each other, lift your heart. Breathe down to your belly. With each inhale, find more length, more rotation if that's available. Take one more breath. On the exhale, you slowly bring yourself out. Come all the way out. Let's go on to the straight leg twist. Take your blanket, fold your blanket up top of your mat. Have your block handy, bring your block behind you. Then come to sit on the edge of the blanket. The edge of the blanket, reaching down, grabbing a hunk of flesh and moving your buttocks back. So the flesh, the muscles. And legs are straight. Let's bend the left knee. Feel the left top thigh pressing up against the lower belly. If you have anything you need to move off to the left, you can move any stored energy that you have for later use off to the edge, off to the left. Take your hands on your left leg, get tall in your spine, making sure that if you are in a flexed position, you'll find that length, length, length. Press your right leg into the ground, left leg into the ground. Hold on to the left leg with the right arm. Take an exhale. Bring your hand behind you on the block. And as you inhale, push down with your feet, down with your leg, down with your hand, and rotate lower ribs around. Rotate, rotate. When you come into the twist, lower the shoulders, slide the shoulder blades back towards each other, lengthen your neck, lift your heart, rotate, rotate, rotate. Shoulder blades are sliding towards each other. They're sliding down your back. You are lifted, lifting your chest. Active feet, active legs. One more breath. And then go ahead and bring yourself out. Push your block over to the other side. Let's switch legs. Right leg bends. Holding onto the right leg. Get tall in your spine. Bring your hand on the block behind you. Left hand holds onto the right leg. Right hand is on the block. Exhale. Inhale to lengthen and rotate, rotate, rotate. Lower the shoulders, shoulder blades towards each other. Lift your heart. Try to lift the lower ribs away from the top pelvis. Press your heart forward, slide the shoulder blades towards each other and down towards the back of top part of your pelvis. Active legs, active feet. That helps to protect the lumbar spine, activating the posterior chain. Take one more breath. And then slowly, slowly break yourself out. Legs are straight, and then spread your legs a little or a lot here. That'll help to support you in the seated position. So bring your legs wide if that's appropriate for you. Make sure you're sitting nice and tall. You're not collapsing in your torso, or you're not leaning back with your hands. You could bring your hands down alongside the body to help support you if you need that. Maybe you are experiencing a stretch here. Tightness in the legs is going to be affecting the pelvis, and the pelvis is attached to the spine. So making sure that you stay nice and limber and you notice what parts of you are tight so you can work on bringing in some more length. Bring your legs back together. So I'd like to do Dandasana. This is a pose of posture. It helps to strengthen the spinal muscles that support us in posture and alignment, which is good for fall prevention, injury prevention. So take a block, bring the block between your thighs. Block between your thighs, toes are pointing up towards the sky, and reach down and grab a hunk of flesh. So you feel the sits bones, you're sitting on the sits bones. This helps to support this upright postural position. Squeeze the block, press the legs down into the ground, and then bring your arms out to the side. Try to get them to the side of your body. Lift your heart, slide the shoulder blades towards each other, long neck, and then press the shoulder blades towards the heart. See if you can add a little bit of spinal extension, an upper back bend. Squeeze the block, legs towards the ground. That'll help to give you some lift. Deep breaths here. Work hard. Push your legs into the ground. Squeeze the block. Push the hands back. Lower the shoulders. Slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Work in this posture. Take one more breath. And then slowly, slowly, slowly let all that tension come out of your body. Bring the soles of the feet together. Come to the edge of the blanket. Hold on to your lower legs. Lift your heart here to rest. One more breath. So we're going to go down onto the ground and we're going to do some postures to stimulate bone growth, pressing the spine into itself. Take your blanket, bring your blanket into the middle of your mat.
Actually, take your blanket.
Yeah.
Take your blanket. Let's put the blanket at the top of the mat. Make sure that you have your strap and your block handy. And if you have a strap that loops, loop your strap before you go down onto the ground. So if you have a strap that loops, loop the strap before. And if you don't have a strap that loops, it's okay. You could tie this. We're going to use this in our top thighs for the bridge posture. So take your strap, bring your strap to the side, block to the side, blanket at the top of your mat. And then let's come onto the side. We want to come down onto the ground safely, lifting your heart, lengthening your spine. Bring your hand long. Bring yourself all the way down onto the mat. And then let's take the block, bringing the block between the knees. Do our first bridge posture. Take the blanket, move the blanket away from the back of the head, lengthen the back of the neck. Let's take the arms down alongside you. Lift your back away from the ground and slide your shoulder blades towards each other. Arms stay like this. You're going to use your arms in the bridge posture. Move your feet as close as you can get them to your body. Tilt your pelvis back, flatten your low back into the ground. Take an exhale. Inhale, squeeze the block, squeeze the tushy, and lift your spine one vertebra at a time up away from the ground. Use your arms to press into the ground to lift the rib cage away as well. Close your eyes and feel this in your body. Feel that the weight stays in the upper back area. It doesn't go into the head and neck. Push your heart towards your nose. Use your arms, use your feet. Push away from the ground. Squeeze the block, squeeze the tushy. Lengthen your knees away from you. Lift your heart towards your nose. Add a back bend in the upper spine. One more breath. Slowly, slowly, slowly bring yourself down one vertebra at a time. Take the block to the side. Grab the strap. We're going to do another bridge pose using the strap. This is going to stimulate the side of the body. You'll get a little higher here. Put your feet through the strap or tie the strap around the upper legs. Lift your head up, lengthen the back of the neck, nothing behind the head. Lift your upper rib cage away, slide your shoulder blades towards the spine and down towards the pelvis. Arms can stay long beside your body, or you can bend your arms, whatever is comfortable for you. Pushing out on the strap, tilt the pelvis backwards, press the low back into the ground. Exhale. Squeeze the tushy, push your hands into the ground, push your feet into the ground, and peel your spine up and away from the floor, one vertebra at a time. Adding a strong back bend to your upper spine. Deep breaths in your bridge. Really press away from the ground. And then press the spine so the vertebra presses into itself. Take one more breath.
Slowly, slowly, slowly bringing yourself down one vertebra at a time. Lift your toes off the ground if you'd like when you come towards the bottom. Lengthening back of the spine. Let yourself come to neutral. Let's keep the strap there. Let's roll onto our tummies. Come all the way onto your tummy. Strap is on the upper legs. Soles of the feet up toward the sky. Elbows on the ground, palms are on the ground. Press your heart forward. Lengthen your spine, pulling the ribs away from the pelvis. And lengthen yourself down to the ground. Take the arms down alongside your body. Either palms are up, or you could clasp your hands if you can get your hands to lift away from your body. Forehead touches the ground, soles of the feet are up towards the sky. Exhale, and then inhale, lift up and away from the ground. Press the spine into itself. Feel the backbones, back of your spine pressing into itself. Strong back bend. Lift your limbs. Take one more breath. Slowly bring yourself all the way down to the ground. Fold your hands, let your forehead rest on the back of the hands. Take a couple of breaths here. Let's roll onto our backs. Roll onto your back. Get your blanket, bring your blanket behind your head, and then reach down to take your strap off of your legs. We're going to do one last posture, which is stretching the legs, to stretch the glutes, to stretch the hamstrings, to bring some relief to the low body, space to the upper body. Slide the shoulder blades back towards the spine. Grab your strap. Bring your strap over both feet. Separate your legs so they're about hip distance. Wrap your hands around the strap. So straight legs is preferred here because the hamstring muscle attaches to the glutes, and you'll pull on the pelvic bone if you keep your knees straight here. Firm up the muscles of both legs. Push the legs away from you with your muscles, and then let's enter the posture, bringing the legs towards the wall behind you. Push the legs away with the muscles and pull towards the back wall. Feel that stretch behind the bottom part of the pelvic area, where the legs attach to the body. Soles of the feet are up towards the sky. Edges of the pinky toes are pressing into the strap. Drive the strap back, pushing the legs away. Create some opposing strong forces to create strong bones. One more breath. And then go ahead and bend your knees. Draw your knees into your chest. So you're in the perfect position to come into the last posture, the posture of integration. Letting everything sink into your body. Bringing your legs wide as your mat. Palms to the side. Letting go of tension. Coming into a place of relaxation. Place your body in whatever position brings you the most comfort and relaxation. And then focus on your breath. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring movement into your body slowly and with awareness. Eventually, bringing the knees into the chest. Rocking side to side. Rocking on to your side. And from here, using your hand to push yourself up and away from the floor. We'll close the practice with sound. Bring your hands together at your chest. Press your heart towards your hands. Feel how that stimulates the sitting up aspect of posture. Pressing your heart to your hand to your heart. Lengthen the back neck slightly, chin moving towards the fingers. We'll close with a humming sound. Take an exhale. Inhale. Namaste. Well, see how you feel. A lot of warm up for the spine because rotation, it's really important that when you do rotation that you're warmed up and you're safe and you have a lot of body awareness. So it's a movement pattern that a lot of people have injuries in. A lot of the time when I think of someone hurting themselves, like getting into an injury situation, it's usually bending forward and reaching for something. So that rotational aspect of your spinal movement, really important to be warm, to understand, to have all of that awareness of what you're doing in your body. Hi, Tatiana. Hello from Atlanta. All right, so I hope that was good for you all, that you all were able to stay safe. I love that you guys did my poll and that most of you are feeling stronger. That means a lot to you, to me, to your bones. All right, so hopefully you feel good. If anything occurs for you, you're welcome, Stevie. If you want to reach out to me, email me to ask any questions or to go farther in your practice. And thanks for joining me. We all have stronger spines after today. Great, Susan. Yeah, did you feel that in your shoulders and your chest? I know that's where I feel it, especially on the one side. And so a lot of those movements today definitely were freeing up that shoulder area, which is really important for spinal health and for overall health and well-being. And so hopefully that felt really good for you. Yeah, perfect. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I will see you in the next class. I'm back here on Saturday. And then, of course, next Thursday for osteoporosis. All right. Bye. Have a great day, ladies. And men, if you're out there.